Revisiting talks on a gun-free zone. That's what lawmakers say could be coming after a shooting injured 5 people right in the French Quarter on Sunday night. Efforts to carve out a safe zone failed last legislative session, but now there are more concerns and a renewed push. WDSU's Jonah Gilmore live in the French Quarter. And Jonah, some lawmakers say the time to do this is right now.
Yeah, Travers, there has not been a bill filed this session to address a gun-free zone, but lawmakers and people who frequent the French Quarter say it's time to do something to make it safe.
I think it's the 42nd year of French Quarter Fest, and that's never really happened. So, yeah, I think some things need to be changed.
What people say was a beautiful day at the French Quarter Festival ended with chaos, leaving 5 people injured.
It's obviously disappointing to still hear.
Michelle Livitz calls the shooting heartbreaking, hoping something could be done to keep people safe.
I think that really renew a lot of the safety for not just like tourists, but locals as well, because obviously we live in this area too.
Those concerns are back at the state capitol as lawmakers work to figure out a plan.
It's still a problem that we have to figure out a solution on, and we're not going to stop until we do.
Last year, State Representative Alonzo Knox introduced House Bill 498. It would have created a gun-free zone in the city's entertainment district, but was voluntarily deferred. State Senator Royce Duplessis thinks the issue should be reconsidered.
And we just saw how ridiculous it was when people were being checked for coolers and ice chests, and their bags were being checked, but they could still bring guns into the French Quarter.
Christian Pendleton is chairman of the French Quarter Management District Security and Enforcement Committee. He says a safe zone would keep bad actors away, but fears if a bill is introduced, it won't gain traction.
And I think it's going to fall on deaf ears in Baton Rouge, and that's really sad because the French Quarter is not just huge for the city, it's huge for the state.
As lawmakers figure out what could be done, people who live, work, and visit the quarter want to see change, but say it may take time.
People have to agree to it. People have to want it, and that's going to be a fight.
Now, if a lawmaker wants to introduce a bill to carve out that safe zone, they have until 6 p.m. on Wednesday, April 23rd to do so. Coming up in a few minutes, see that dramatic video of the moments that mass shooting took place. Reporting live in the French Quarter, Jonah Gilmore, WDSU News.